The truth about vitamin A toxicity, and I bet no one's explained it to you like this before. Something that is quite a common question since I talk about the importance of cod liver oil and beef liver for iron's movement. If you're new here, iron's movement is not about iron levels, it's about how iron moves through the body, and just because it is low in the blood doesn't mean that it's actually low in the body. In 1855, cod liver oil cured anemia. The reason for this is that cod liver oil contains retinol. It also contains vitamin D, so if you're worried about your vitamin D levels, then this is one of your one-stop shops. But the vitamin A in it helps iron move through the body. It has a role in loading copper onto what I like to call the bus that moves iron through. Beta-carotene is not equivalent to retinol. Retinol comes from animal sources, which is why cod liver oil is amazing, because beta-carotene is converted to retinol in the body, and typically it takes 12 units of beta-carotene to equal 1 of retinol. The issue is that if iron isn't moving properly, then the conversion actually doesn't take place in that same ratio. And along with that, if we already have iron that's dysregulated and not moving properly, then that's adding a lot of extra stress. There's a few reasons why a lot of people believe in vitamin A toxicity. One being that vitamin A is stored in the liver. About 90% of the vitamin A in the body is stored in the liver, but it's released when needed. Another part being in 1995, the Rotham study concluded that vitamin A has links to birth defects. So I think it's really important to note that that was actually synthetic vitamin A that they used. I also agree that synthetic vitamin A should be avoided. They are not the same thing and are quite different, and the body knows that, so it doesn't react the same way. This is also a reason why I don't like prenatals, because they contain typically synthetic vitamin A or they'll contain beta-carotene. That's not really what the body needs. It does need retinol. There's nothing else that's equivalent that loads copper and iron onto the bus that moves it through the body. There's plenty of studies that show that 30,000 IUs of vitamin A in the form of retinol does not contribute to birth defects. If you're wanting to find some of them, just do a Google search and tons will come up. So what is that equivalent to if you're looking at supplements? Because maybe you're worried about, a vitamin A toxicity and it being too much. Well, that would mean that if you were consuming beef liver and say it had for 6 recommended capsules, that's typically around 5,100 IUs of vitamin A in those 6 capsules, so you'd have to have about 30 capsules a day. In terms of cod liver oil, it's recommended that it's 1 teaspoon, and that works out to about 4,500 IUs of vitamin A in the form of retinol, so that would mean that you would need just under 7 teaspoons a day in order to get up to that amount. So if you are following the directions on the bottle, then you are going to be under 10,000 IUs, and 30,000 IUs is even said to be safe. If you want to know more about how iron moves and the significance of it, then go on over to the links, download my free ebook, which is labeled for supplements that help with iron's movement, and that will be a really great place to start.